CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity, CMC core values, CMC global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's hold together. Let's hold together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the land of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, yes, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, yes, for the people. CMC, yes, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.
Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Thanks for joining us, depending on your location. This is the CMC News. We can confirm to you that we are live on the Political Lodge. We are also live on Facebook on Inside Liberia. You also check on YouTube on the Political Lodge. We are also there, as well as other platforms. So it's good to be here. I think we are also live on the CMC USA, the CMC Diaspora USA. Also, you can check there. We are there live, and we're also live on all our radio stations in Liberia, 2FN across the country, and other community stations that are relaying the broadcast at this point. We want to say thanks for relaying, and it's good to be here tonight. My name is Winston Cooper. I'm going to be the one to moderate our tonight's edition of the CMC News or Inside Liberia. So basically tonight we're going to talk about, present issues within Liberia after the Christmas and the New Year. There are a few other things that are going on in country. We're going to talk about it with other panelists who are going to join tonight. But it's good to be here. Whatever you are watching from, we just want to say leave your comment in the comment section. We're going to read your comment out. We're going to talk about Liberian totality. We're going to talk beyond political party line. We're going to analyze, and we're going to talk about some of the different problems our people are facing in Liberia. So again, it's good to have you there. And while we are waiting all our panelists, we will just be going deep into all of major happening with the CMC. As you may be aware, today on the social media or on the official page of the CMC, we saw new other appointment coming in today as a means of strengthening our working across the globe. So Mr. Torme Nuni Collins, I hope I'm pronouncing this well. Mr. Torme Nuni Collins was appointed as Vice Chair for Political Affairs CMC Global. So we are strengthening the CMC, across the globe. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we are building the CMC across the globe. We're trying to advance our, membership. We're trying to extend the workings of CMC across the continent to make sure that we can have Liberian people who are in the diaspora, getting ourselves involved in the governance process in Liberia, making sure that we all can support the CMC, the vision, and the hope we want to restore in Liberia. So it's good to be here again. Wherever you are watching from, we ask that you just share, the show. We ask that you also leave a comment in the comment section. We're going to read your comments out while we are still awaiting all our panelists. So tonight we're going to have very scintillating conversation around present issue from Liberia. Um, we're going to be talking about some leak audio recording with the issue of the different fights in the chat room of the House Legislature. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give our analysis on it, and then we're going to talk about CMC news. We're going to bring Mr. Tobe is going to be here. He's going to talk about the CMC news. And by the way, congratulations to Liberia. Today, our official flag as a country was planted at the United Nations, where the non-permanent seat that we won some months back, we have begun official duty, and the message was clear. It showed to the world that Liberia is now ready for business. We're also going to talk about that. We will talk about it in detail. When we, as a country, when we are succeeding in a certain way, we all will come together and give the praises. And I think it was a good thing today. It was a win for Liberia today, for our flag to be planted there. We saw it, and it was a good thing. Let's give some level of credit to the government, and to also, all of us effort kept us reaching to this level. So let's give that credit. But we're going to talk about issues. We're going to talk about different issues. We're going to give analysis on general issues that have been happening in Liberia. And we know the new year, the Christmas, and everything, it was not easy based on the economic crisis within the country right now. It was not easy, but anyway, you fight, you persevere, you reach this level. We look forward to what the government have to bring to us 2026, as we have entered in 2026 already. But by the way, it's good. It's good. And we look forward to, major things happening for the Liberian people. So tonight we will be having, series of panelists here tonight to have conversation. We are expecting Sis Vicky to join us. Max will join us. Dr. Yan will be here. Mr. Smith, Toby will be here. We also expect Fofana to be here, and of course, I'm here. I'm here tonight, and it's good that we come here most of the time to talk about Liberia, to talk about issues affecting our country. So recently, we've been on this show. We've been giving analysis about, some of the different things we've been observing in Liberia with regards to the issue of, the 1.2 billion we give our analysis on it across. And yeah, we were very objective about it. We provided our analysis on it as a responsible political party. You saw, the breakdown of the budget from the CMC. Yeah, so that was also, promising enough. We did that. We gave our analysis. We did a breakdown of the budget, how we think the budget should be working, how the budget should perform, how the budget should be restructured in order to have trickle-down effect on the ordinary Liberians. CNC did that. And again, you've been seeing the political leader of the CMC, Honorable Musa Hassan Bediti. He's been providing detailed information to the Liberian people on his official social media pages, and that of the he also been having a couple of radio appearances talking to the Liberian people directly about some of the things that have been happening in the House of Representatives. He's been providing you with detail. He's been distancing himself from most of these different, Booker concession agreements. Most of these different agreements have come through the House that we think that is not in the interest of the Liberian people. Let's take, for example, the Oronto deal. The Oronto deal, the PL distanced himself, and he made his position very clear to the Liberian people. And we think, these are things that should be happening. We put lawmakers in the House of Representatives. We voted people, we voted this government to come to power on ground of accountability, to talk about the arrest agenda. So yeah, we expect them to stand by that commitment. We expect them to be accountable to us as people. We expect them to live by that commitment they made to us. So it's a really good thing that we have a responsible political leader and an opposition who provide, his little expertise on how government should function. And sometimes he don't just sit and criticize the government, but he also recommend the central government as to how they should be proceeding. Because we believe, as a responsible opposition, we believe that if this government fails, the people of Liberia are going to suffer. So we don't want this government failing. This is why we've been, consistently and responsibly criticizing this government and recommending where possible that this government can be able to work on some other issues or some of the lapses they are having, so the Liberian people cannot be spectator to their own economy, so the Liberian people can also have the better life they deserve. But like I said, we are expecting other panelists to join us before we keep start our real conversation. Tonight we will be talking about we will dive into the saga surrounding the Speaker of the 55th House Legislature, Honorable Rachel Nangbe Kun. And for there, we will also talk about the leaked audio recording. Some of his colleagues are calling on him to recuse himself. As you may be aware, there are rules that govern the House Legislature, establishing rules that govern the body, and it's specified within the rules that any action for any member to bring the House to public disrepute or to kill the dignities of the House, there are penalties for it. But we're going to be talking about it in detail. Like I said, we're going to be providing more analysis on it as we look forward to having more panelists coming in so we can have conversations. So Heron and Ansu, I don't know if you guys are back. Stage, you guys could just have a connected. We could take few calls, Liberian people who are listening. We could take few calls from them, and then after we can start our conversation. If you guys are listening, you just let us know so we can take few calls while we still are waiting other panelists to join us. But it's good to be here. So we are going to I'm going to be reading out the appointment made today, the official appointment for one of our astute Liberians, somebody who we believe with a present in a governance process or in a democratic process in Liberia will bring upliftment. It will restore the dignity. It will also bring about good governance. So this is the press release. It says for immediate release, January 2, 2026, Citizen Movement for Change, CMC, announces key leadership appointments to strengthen global operation and diaspora engagement. Monrovia, Liberia. The Citizen Movement for Change is pleased to announce the appointment of 3 distinguished Liberians to key leadership roles within its global and diaspora governance structure. These appointments, approved by the CMC executive, reflects the movement's ongoing commitment to empowering communities, strengthening global cooperation, and advancing inclusive leadership across the Liberian diaspora. The new appointments include Mr. Torman Nooney Collins, appointed as the Vice Chair for Political Affairs, CMC Global, following the unanimous consent of the executive. CMC has formally appointed Mr. Torman Yanni Collins as Vice Chair for Political Affairs, CMC, in the role. Mr. Collins will help guide and influence CNC political decision globally, working closely with the global chair, Dr. Richardson, the national chair on political affairs, and the political leader to ensure alignment in political strategies and policy developments. So Mr. Collins was appointed by the CMC on the 2nd of January to take the role, in playing strategic roles, especially serving as the Vice Chair for Political Affairs of the CMC globally. As you may be aware, Dr. Richardson is the global chair for the CMC. So yeah, it's good. Also today, Mr. Lassana A.M. Nkrumah was appointed as member Continental Executive Committee. He was appointed as member for the Continental Executive Committee, USA and Canada. Mr. Lassana A.M. Nkrumah was appointed today. And lastly, there were 3 persons appointed, by the way, and the last person there is Peter Cook was appointed as member Continental Executive Committee as well. As you know, CNC has structure within different continents. When all of these people from different continents, people in Africa, people in Europe, people in Asia, people in America, when we all come together, we become continental, committee. So it's good. It's good. So we really appreciate the appointment today by the CMC executive, and we hope and pray that we all will work together in harmony, because this is all about CMC working globally, CMC bringing forces together, people who we think they are impact maker, people who have, one way or other touched the lives of Liberians, people who have changed the living conditions of people in Liberia. Will bring them together so we can have different plans, so we can put our heads together to be able to move our country forward. This is why you see CMC going across in different countries, different continents, to make sure that Liberians in the diaspora can be part of national development. I think it's a good thing. This is why we all, as Liberians, we are long wished for that. We have to encourage Liberians who have left from Liberia in other places to come back together, so we all can be able to work together to improve the conditions of our people, to make sure that the living condition of our people is being improved, and everybody can contribute to national development. And this is what CMC is committed to doing. So again, let's go back a little bit. I just want to move back a little bit on our other conversation. Like I told you, you've been following of recent. We've been talking about the issue surrounding the speaker on Richard Nangwe Kun. And some months back, you observe in 2025, there were issues within the House of Representatives. We saw the impasse in the House, where we have few people going on the other side as a black and people on the other side as a black. By the way, we have two black. We have the Richard Kun black. We have the former speaker, but the speaker by then, Funati Kofa black as well. So there was a lot of issues between them. It took them almost 6 months for this whole thing to be able to resolve. And at the end of the day, the Capitol building got on fire. We saw that. So all of these things happened in the process. And after that, there were election. Speaker Richard Nangwe won the election as a speaker. But one thing we all need to realize, and one thing we all need to know here, is that the House of Representatives is the first, the legislature, by general, the legislature is the first branch of government, and the legislature comprises House of Representatives and the House of Senate. And I just want to talk about the House of Senate, because this is where the government begins, the first branch of the government, and this is where governance begins, because they are the one who make the law. They make the law that govern the country. They set up the rules for the country. So we expect them to be people of moral value, people who have international standard, people who have value on the international scene, people who do not have a tainted character, people who believe in promoting, human rights, people who promote the dignity of our country, especially in a critical position that Honorable Richard Nangwe Kun is serving as a speaker, which is the third man in command in the Republic of Liberia. So when this whole thing about the impasse came to be, when he was elected officially, he resumed job, and all of his colleagues went back to session. They had regular session. But one thing, as a Liberian, if you can really notice, Honorable Speaker Richard Nangwe Kun, for the few months he has served for, you observe that the House have not been really together the way former speaker by then used to make sure that the House is conducted, work in line with the opposition and imposition, to make sure and balance the House, to make sure that decision in the House is reached unanimously, and everyone can be able to have their say in decision. This is why we saw on Funati Kofa. But when Richard Kun took over, we saw something different. We saw being a dictator. And I'm just having my opinion. I know if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I'm just having my honest opinion about this. We saw him being a dictator in a way that he threatened journalists. He threatened your colleagues about taking suspending them from taking their salary and all of that. And we believe the press freedom, Liberia press, the people who are part of the press union in Liberia should have a freedom. They should be able to cover whatever whatever activities that requires public attention, especially sessions in the House of Representatives and all of these different things. But you saw of recent about the leaked audio where he was threatening journalists about putting them in jail if they release anything from the House of Representatives, where he never had quorum and he wanted to have session. And those different things been happening. And some of us said this when the impasse was taking place. We said the executive is just supporting this because they want to use someone like Speaker Richard Nagwekun to be able to pass the budget at hypersonic speed. And while we saw the budget was debated, we were put on the floor in the same 50 minutes, it was debated in the same 50 minutes, it was voted upon. And yeah, so we saw these things coming. And then when he took office, when he took over as the speaker of the 55th House of Legislature, we've been seeing these things happening. And he did not just hide his intention. He mentioned about, being regime speaker. Just imagine a separate branch of government, somebody who preside when the two houses meet, the House of Representatives and House of Senate meet, the person who served as a presiding officer. He's saying that he's a regime speaker. That means the branch of government that should work independently will not be independent because he's a regime speaker and he's going to allow the executive to influence all of the decisions of the House. This is why we've been having these kind of different problems in the House. We've been having people, we have had, members of the opposition community disagreeing with him on so many occasions, especially with the issue of the budget. When it flew over the House of Representatives, there were a lot of concerns being raised, and you saw the political leader of the CMC calling for the budget to be recalling that the budget should come back, the budget should be recorded, and budget should be put on the floor for debate. They will run to do the total energy, everything should be debated to make sure that they can have their say, and it is their responsibility. It's part of their responsibility. They have to represent their people. These kind of agreements should pass through the House. They should represent their people. They should be able to have that say on it, because there are people who go in different constituencies and listen to the concern of their people, and they take it to the House of Representatives through the concern they get from their people. They go and make laws. They go and make decisions for their people. So you cannot have this kind of major concession agreement flying over them, and the historical budget flying over them at hypersonic speed. They got to debate upon it and make sure that these things can meet up with the concern of the members of the House of Representatives. And at the end of the day, we saw the budget coming back. They were run to do and total energy, everything. People made a decision. People voted, and some people did not vote. Some people abstained from the process. At the end of the day, we end up by having they end up by having the numbers and the Senate to the Senate. And after that, few weeks ago, we saw a lady, Cecilia Kuhn, by her name, Cecilia K. Kuhn. She appeared on different, credible radio stations within Liberia. She had conversation around, the relationship with she and the speaker. Yeah, so Sis Vicky, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. I just been here doing 1 minute thing, but it's good to have you here. How you doing? You muted. I think you have to check your mic. You are muted. I'm not hearing you. I'm not still hearing you. It's like your mic is still giving you the same problem. I don't know. No, I'm not still hearing you. No sound at all. I think you will have to check that, and let's see. So we have this lady coming on, appearing on different social media. She went to intellectual forum. She appeared on Spoon event. She talked about the relationship she have had with Richard Nambakun, and a lot of controversy. A lot of different information about how he wanted to acquire American citizenship, green card, and all of that. Sis Vicky, can you try that again? Let's see. Can you? No. Yeah, I think you will have to change that. Let's see. Yeah, please try to change that. Let's see. I really think you have to change that. But if you are you hearing me right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're good now. You're good. Yeah, you're good. So yeah, let's work on you. How you doing? I was just starting a conversation. We expect all our panelists to be here, but
You said you can hear me now?
yeah, you're good. You're good. How you doing?
Yeah, good, good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so thank you so much. Yeah.
we're going to get the ball started. Why the shoot that we already out of time. We're going 25 minutes now
Right.
from my end. Yeah, but let's get your welcome statement, and from there you just briefly tell us what touches you, or what did you see for the New Year celebration, and moving forward.
I just want to say thank you so much for welcoming everyone here, starting the show. I want to say thank you, and I want to say thanks to who are watching. I want to say thanks for watching. Share the show. We have more people coming. It's just a day after a holiday, but we have people coming. So this is the same normal show. We ask that you share the show. We apologize for any inconvenience it may have caused you waiting, all of that. I My welcome statement would be just what I say. Share the show. Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year celebration. And you talk about New Year celebration. How was it? Well, I think in Liberia, in our settings, New Year, what people say, the season of Christmas, they are talking about both Christmas and New Year. So the way New Year Christmas is spent is how literally New Year is spent. So when people are even asking for help or support, they're asking for both Christmas and New Year. So same thing that happened, especially in Liberia, where a lot of people were complaining. They were still complaining. We people try, as usual, especially people abroad or in the diaspora area, to help people out in Liberia, but it was just too many help that was needed this season as a whole, that you could not cover everyone. So it's not everybody is still happy, even though you cannot make everybody happy, but a lot of people were left out. They were not happy with the way they spent the season. They didn't have control over it, and then certain people just kind of enjoyed as usual, like especially people from the government. And I heard that some workers were not paid from the government, and they didn't spend the season right too. But like I said, it's our tradition usually that when New Year, the number one thing we focus on is the life and the breath that we breathe. People are happy that at least they were able to, see another year. So usually we just do that when we're just thankful and grateful that the Lord take us to another year. So that's the most important thing. But I would say when it comes to real celebration like bread and butter, no, the bread and butter issue is still a problem. People didn't spend the season well, but we are grateful that we're living and we're breathing. Once there's life, there's hope. So we should just hope on everyone. I encourage everybody to hope there. We will have some days, we will have a better New Year and a better Christmas or holidays spent, and especially when CMC take over. All right. So support the CMC. Liberia will be great again. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for providing, you know your thoughts, what is on your mind, especially focusing on how people spend the New Year, what you observe so far. So that's like what you said. It's always in the case. People think that, you know, the way things are had in Liberia, everybody will have to reach out to you, and you don't blame them. They deserve to live better life too. Everyone deserves to live better life. But the fact that, they haven't had the opportunity, and government, year past year, government come, government go, the condition of the people still the same. So at the end of the day, you have people calling you and all of that. This is why we keep saying, it's good. Let's change the narrative this come around. Let's bring CMC that has the connection and all of the different plans that we have to change the living condition of the people, to make sure that We can expound on resources. We can expound the use of resources. We can expound on, you know, the different taxes people pay and the revenue, the domestic revenue we raise and the external revenue. So we can expound on these things to be able to improve the living condition of our people. This is what we keep saying, but it's a good thing. So basically tonight we will be talking about and we'll be focused on, you know, I just want to move her back a little bit, and then yeah, we just consider it as a talking point because it's actually training is a serious issue that every time people talk about it, like, bro. But before we go to that, let's talk about recently you've been hearing about this whole thing surrounding the whole controversial information surrounding the Speaker of the House of Representatives getting married to Cecilia K. Kuhn, and the lady came, she provided the information about the intent of the marriage. And she said a whole lot of things. And later on, you saw the speaker coming or responding that this lady is his sister, and as opposed to being a wife to him, even though they got married, but it was on the basis of him being able to gain started within in the United States of America. And this issue been taking over the whole social media. We know we'll talk about the audio, the leak audio from the chat room of the House of Representatives. But let's talk about this. What have you been hearing so far, and what are your thoughts on this training issue in Liberia about the Speaker of the House of Representatives getting married to his biological sister as he claimed to be?
Well, it's I don't know. It's a hard situation. But I would say that I don't know how really smart was it for the speaker to come out and say this person is my biological sister, but it was due to paper. I don't know how smart was him to come and do that, even if that was the case. If somebody asks you, and this lady was asking for divorce, she's been asking for divorce forever. If you are a speaker or third person in command in Liberia, why you holding on to somebody divorce to get a divorce? You came here because you came, you try to hustle, and you got married, and the person saying that, hey, give me my divorce. Now that you are successful, you are a speaker, why you couldn't just give that person that divorce? Why you couldn't just work it out instead of coming on the media to prove that, oh, this person, you didn't marry to them just to satisfy your other, maybe your other relationship or something like that, and not even knowing or thinking that you're putting yourself in trouble. It's very, very troubling. I would say it's troubling because the speaker, it has nothing to do with somebody asking for a divorce. That, okay, it's fine, you can have another spouse, but give me my divorce. You want to just give the person what they're asking for. Even if it was for the fact that it was true that you guys got married, give the person a divorce. You don't need a U.S. status anymore because you're already successful. You're a speaker, you have your spouse, you're living good and happily in Liberia. So I want to say that the whole thing, the person that actually makes it, the whole thing going is the speaker. Because the lady said that came, she didn't say anything. All she wanted was her divorce. And the reason why this drew, a lot of people's attention is because people knew that he was still married. And people knew that this woman had been asking him forever for the divorce to move on. So if you still married and then somebody make pronouncement and say that this is my spouse, it concerned other people. So people started getting concerned. And then the next thing people said, oh, how come this guy is married? Why would he still marry and then somebody, pronounce him as spouse? That's why all this. So in order to clear the air or not to do something, just go and give the person a divorce, or just, but for you coming and saying that this is my sister, I mean, just listening to yourself, I don't know how rational that was to come and say, oh, she was my sister. She only helped me to get paper on a national TV, considering the position you have in Liberia. That was a big blunder. No matter what it is, what a woman, people are saying that the woman is talking a lot, but guess who opened the conversation? Who started it? Who first came and said, oh, this person is not the person you are thinking, and I married this and that. Marriage is marriage, no matter what. Your starter got to change. You got to go back and make it right before you have another, before you marry again. Some people, when they're married, you see that their husband last name is they got it stuck on them. It's not because they don't want the relationship go. Some people decide that until they can get married again. And by right, legally, when you're married, and then you, until you can get married again, that name that you change is still going to be your name until you can get married again legally. So it's not something to joke with, but our Liberian people play with marriage. They play with marriage a lot. So that's some of the thing that point into that thing. I understand that this lady is talking, but she has to prove her point too. Because you came and said, this is your sister. She has to talk. She has to let people to know that, no, I'm not his sister. And she kept saying over and over, I don't know what you guys are talking about. He's not my brother. He wasn't for paper. He proposed to me. And she even saying where she was proposed to at. Like at a dinner, he proposed to me. He didn't tell me it was for paper. And she kept saying that. And when push comes to shove, they go to the court of law, she's going to continue with that story. One thing I know is her story has not changed or is not changing. So it's crazy. And then on the other hand, too, I feel that the speaker is in violation. So this is I just pray that the Callis, I would play a devil advocacy when it comes to how people are blaming the president. I must admit a lot of things I don't agree with the president. This is my philosophy that I usually carry with me. That when you look in the mirror, the reflection from the mirror is the person that is responsible for your action. So if I'm looking at myself right now, the only person I'm seeing here is the person that is responsible for my action, and that should be the only person should be responsible for your action. I'm not saying that the president shouldn't take action, but the person, the character here is him, is this speaker. So I think we shouldn't put blame on other people. This man, for the fact that he went and actually brought himself and make the thing, he didn't want to make it controversial. He's the one came out to say, "Oh, she's my sister." Oh, now it's like, "Oh, sister got married." It's first of all, it's sounding forbidding. It's sounding art. It's sounding troubling. It's sounding illegal. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and people keep saying it, and other people are blaming the lady while she's talking. This lady just have to come and talk because telling somebody that you married to your brother for paper, and that's not why it is. You have to come up with another story. You got to make, like people, they take one story and just run with it. That's why she kept talking. Because if she does not come and make it right and make like people to understand that it's not true, they're gonna just take it and run with it. Like she married to her own brother and she's trying to make story out of it. However, there will be the truth. We're all going to know the truth because this is not going to stop. This is going to be investigated. This is going to be looked at or looked into. So I will stop here for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sis Vicky. Thanks for your analysis on this. So I just want to go a little bit on this. I think the domestic relation law in Liberia prohibits a few other things, especially when it comes to marriage. It prohibits ancestor and descendant marriage. It prohibits brothers and sister marriage. It prohibits uncle and niece marriage. So and first cursing as well. So this is I don't really know where this in what context did the speaker put this. I don't know what was he thinking. Now the lady came and said, I have been behind this guy to set me free. I need divorce. I've been putting in for it. I needed to be done. And she sat down on state radio, right? It was just something that should have been done long time. Just be done with this woman and settle a wonderful and this story would not have come out.
No.
But the fact that the current speaker of the house can get married to his sister on a whatsoever pretense. And one thing that the lady said is that she performed all of her marital responsibility. When you get married to a woman, what I mean when someone say that they perform all of their duty as the wife in a home and everything. So it's concerning to the people of Liberia to have the third in command whose character is being put on the line for not just getting married to his sister, but also born by somebody who is underage, not just born by somebody who is underage, but having many children out there and not being able to sponsor these children and marrying to 3 wives. And then I was following, as a matter of fact, some of the information we have gathered from reliable sources is that his citizenship that he fought for, that he did all these things for, he has been revoked. And on the
Oh,
process, he had applied so many times. He had applied 3 times to get 3 or 2 times to get the green card, and all of that have been denied as we speak. So let me come to you. You know, let's forget about the political aspect of it. Let's
mm-hmm,
forget about the House of Representatives. Let's talk about Liberia as a country.
mm-hmm.
What what do you think having a speaker who is having all these controversial around him, or controversy around him about his integrity, and the United States of America is saying, you know why, we got to revoke all these things and all of that, and you having Liberia being member of having seats at the United Nations, non-permanent members of the at the United Nations, when with all of these things around a speaker who's supposed to go out there to represent the country, what's your concern here, really?
Hmm. That why I say it's troubling. It's a big concern. So like the host was the one that put this speaker into office. And this go back, the question to me go back to the House of Representatives, that your leader, this is why your leader that you put in office did. So now what are you going to do about this? Because you put him in office, so and then he violated. So you have job to do, you have work to do, to go together and remove him. I feel that the speaker need to be removed, because if the speaker is not removed and the news keep going, the news is embarrassing. Let me tell you that, for the people of Liberia. This is our 10 men in command we are talking about here. This is embarrassing. You don't want this. Especially Liberia form part of Africa. And Africans have traditions. We have morals. And there are some things that are just forbidden for us. So not only that this news is troubling, but it's also embarrassing. All right. So like I said, with Liberian people, we grew up. We know that you cannot mess around even your first cousin, second cousin, third cousin. The people still finding this thing. We are family, and then we're talking about brother and sister around here. First of all, you see how odd it sound, and then for our kids in Liberia to be hearing, searching our youth to be hearing this kind of things that are going on with the speaker, and how his sister do this. This is really, really bad, and it also put in a position of not being reliable. I know you say that forget about the US and something like that. Lying to get ahead is not something that people will look up to you for. As a leader, you're supposed to lead by example. But if you are leading and you are lying to get ahead, you are lying to benefit, you are lying to get opportunity and becoming opportunist, how is that other people will, how reliable is that for people to believe in you as a third person? God forbid the president, the vice president, something happened to them, you will be the president of Liberia. But then now look at you. Can you represent Liberia with these kind of things, these characters? So I think that this is not only that forbidden, it's embarrassing. And this news, I don't want it to keep going. I know it's trending. There need to be an action taken. Once that action is taken, then we'll forget about this news. But something needs to be done quickly, so it cannot keep going. These things give repetition. Let me give you an example. There was a Liberian man here in the US, precisely in the state that I live, Minnesota. He murdered his son for insurance purpose. And then and the only thing everybody was saying around the world is we know Liberians men are this, we know Liberians men not fair, they will cheat. We know Liberian men are that, but Liberian men will always protect the children. This is not a Liberian kind of act. This is, a lot of people are condemning that. No, Liberian men will do this, Liberian men will do that. We know when they want to be serious, they can be serious. When they want to be unserious, they can be unserious. But this is not like on that a typical Liberian man kind of thing for you to go and kill your own child. Liberian men will do whatever it is to protect the family or to protect the child instead of kill the child. And then there was time that I was on a job, and then there was a commotion between an Asian lady and a Liberian guy, and the Asian lady had to tell the Liberian guy, "Get out of here, you Liberian people, you can kill your own children." You see what I'm talking about? So those are things, people always have, I know they can have some stereotype, issue with people, the stereotypical perception about country or something like that. But these are things that when one man, even in the Bible, they said when Paul sinned, I mean, they said the nation has sinned, right? It's one person that do this thing, but look at the repetition that it brought onto the rest of Liberians. And that lady had to tell the men that, first of all, Liberian people, you can kill your own children. And then we had nothing to say. It was true. It's facts. So these things are not things to be around for a long time, because as it stay longer, it's stereotyping us, and then it becoming, something that you don't want for Liberians. You want to be a Liberian and stand somewhere and knock your chest. You want to be a Liberian and be able to defend Liberia. Now with this kind of, or troubling characteristic or character or repetition. So the horse need to go and do something ASAP before it gets somewhere back, because it kept going, and this is not what it's supposed to be for somebody that is heading us. I don't trust that. So I really think that action should be taken, and I think this is bad. It's spoiling us. It's demoralizing the whole of Liberia. So it's affecting Liberia as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Sis Vicky. And there's something that you said earlier about, I know a lot of the lawmakers, or most of the lawmakers, who've been talking about the speaker recusing himself, to make sure that, we can have some due process going on and the dignity can be restored to the House of Representatives. I think you spoke about that. And as few other lawmakers who calling on his recuser to give the process, or that, so we can have a fair process going on about the investigation as to whether this is true that he got married to his sister and all of that. Now, the reason why most of them, and I just want to disagree with you a little bit, the reason why most of them are calling on the executive to intervene, most especially the president, is because some months back you saw the level of support the executive provided, even members of the House of Senate provided for this speaker. You saw that the speaker was heavily supported.
Mm-hmm.
You had the legitimate speaker was still a speaker, and all of the security forces around him was being recalled by the executive, and they gave the security forces to Speaker Regent Nambekong. And you saw how closely the executive been working with, this speaker. So the reason why people are saying the necessary now to call this executive now, the president will be having a State of the Nation address very soon.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be having a State of the Nation address very soon. And you need to have the speaker presiding over both the Senate and the House of Representatives. So do you want to have a president who will go and sit for a speaker who having all those, concern around him, all those information, all the things he have done? Do you want to have a president who will go and sit for that kind of speaker to preside in his State of the Nation address, where you have all international partners who will want to distance themselves? Because this thing is catching a lot of attention. This thing about the speaker integrity being put on stake and everything is catching a lot of attention. So you will have all of the international partners who are supposed to be at the State of the Nation address, and they will not want to sit under the kind of speaker. Do you want to have a president giving sona where you see lawmakers, arguing among themselves who should preside, who should not preside? I think it will not be good for our country. This is why lawmakers are calling on the executive member, because they supported this fight when people from, people in the House of Legislature, when they fight against this, they made the president understand this is not just about political fight, but it's also about not having confidence in this guy who want to be speaker. But he was supported at all costs. So now they are telling him, Mr. President, you're going to have the sooner very soon. And we don't want the State of the Nation address to be in the total chaos. So it is time that you just call the speaker and have conversation with him. On Regent Nambekong, we supported you at this point in time, with all the information going around you. We ask that you recruit yourself from the process. Let's see the due process going on. After all, if you're not guilty of anything, any wrongdoing that brought the dignity and the sanity of the House to public disrepute, then you will be disrepute. I mean, you will be reinstated. Or you retain your position.
Yeah, I
So
get I get what you say,
so
but
this is the angle. So this is the angle they are coming from. Let
Mhm.
the executive supported this fight immensely. So let the executive be able to intervene. But then have in mind, there are a few other lawmakers that we have followed that have talked to them personally as well, and they have confirmed that they have, lawmakers who are raising this concern, even though they are not in numbers. They don't have the 49 to say, why we want to remove the speaker. But the fact that you have good numbers of lawmakers, and some of them, most of them are even calling, they're even asking that they're going to boycott the soda. And we don't want to have a sauna again where, I call it the chief justice of the Republic, like, bro, we have to boycott the sauna, like what we have been seeing in previous year. So we want to have this thing resolved so that the executive be involved. For me, I think personally, and I support them, that the executive should be involved because they supported this fight immensely. And Richard could listen to the president more than any other person. But the aspect of removing him will take time. And we have a sauna coming up. We will have international panels who are supposed to come and listen. So this is just my position. Any way you can speak on that.
So I got what you say. All right. So first of all, first thing first, Richard Kuhn is not going to recuse himself. He will not recuse himself. You know he will not. This man, his life is about power. He is not going to do that. He is not going to do what his colleagues are asking. All right. Let's just consider that. And you just make a key point about how people are thinking about boycotting session and all of that. That is also an action. That's the action that I'm talking about is part of action. If people say, "Oh, because of this is happening, we're not going to do this," in there's a protest or petition, that's action. That's action taken. Okay, the president did not put him there. The people that put him there are the people in the House of Representatives. They are the only people that can remove him. They are the only people that can also go together and suspend him until his remover. The president, yes, the president need to come and say something. The president have to address it, but the House have to stand firm and suspend this man because they already know that the president is in support of him. They know that he's not going to take any action against him. So since they have the power and the privilege or the tradition to remove this man or to suspend him, the House can do it without the president approval. The House don't need the president approval to suspend Richard Kuhn because of what is going on. They know the law. They are lawmakers. Read the law. Read your articles. Take action according to what you know. That's what I would say. I'm not saying the president should be free or they shouldn't hold the president as responsible, but I'm just saying, bye, bye. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I'm not saying it should happen that way, but the host should know what to do. They put this man there, and their leader is doing this, so they have to go together and do something like maybe out of suspension. That you are right about it, how prolonging it's going to take. It's going to be to actually remove him because it's going to pass through this, that. But then for now, the way things looking, and they have this state of emergency that you're talking about coming up. The host got to go and act. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the president shouldn't address it. The president should address it, but at this point, the host has the power, has all right to do what it can do. They're put into office, and this is happening. It's their house repetition, and they have to take some actions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, says Vicky, you're right on that. I'm just, I'm supporting statement
Mhm.
from other lawmakers. But Rule 42.1 talks about every member shall at any point or at any place keep the prestige and the dignity of the house and refrain from undesirable acts. Rule 42.1 of the house rule clearly
Mhm.
spell that out. Every member shall at any place keep
Mhm.
the prestige and the dignity of the house and refrain from undesirable acts. And the speaker should be wise enough to know that this is a grave allegation against me. That in fact, he alluded to it that this lady is his sister, and there are documents, there are evidence upon evidence of him a proposal, marriage to this lady,
You
and
see?
all of that.
Are you waiting on the
So this
president?
is this is about time that the speaker recruiting. For me, I'm just saying we
Mhm.
don't want to have, because all of us in the diaspora, people in Liberia, and people everywhere, Liberian everywhere, our ears are open, our eyes are looking close. We want to listen to the president's State of Nation address. We want to hear what the president will say
Oh
and
yeah.
what new hope can the president give to the Liberian people as we move forward in 2026. So we don't want the sooner of the president to be the scene of chaos where lawmaker will miss, lawmaker will now want to sit on the speaker, and at the end of the day we'll have back and forth and all the confrontation. We want to have a peaceful zone where Liberians will listen to the progress of this government and what they have for 2026 and moving forward. So I think it is also responsible enough on the part of the executive, because like I said to you, if even you want to, if even they want to remove the speaker, or if he needs to be suspended, it's going to be a process. The horse run on two things: political expediency and legality.
Mhm.
Legally and morally, he's not supposed to be speaker by this time. He should recuse himself and make sure that due process is done. You know, if he's not guilty of all of those things, or if the host members of the host found that the action is not inconsistent with Rule 42.1, he'll be reinstated. He's going to continue. But we think that this is not the right time for us. This speaker should be able to recruit himself, but I believe that he's not going to do it. And the process of you know, it's process of suspending him or the process of removing him is going to be, they got to effectuate the process. They have to collect signature around. And all of those things have to be in the pipeline, and we have the State of Nation address on hand or at hand. So we just need the
Yeah.
right thing to be done.
Yes. Yes. It would be right.
So the executive, this executive in their own wisdom, and I believe that the speaker, he listened to them well, because he said he's a regime speaker, so therefore he worked at the will and pleasure of the president. So if the president can tell him, we need you to recuse yourself in order for all to have peaceful sooner, and let the due process go on, yeah, he's going to do it. But the aspect of lawmakers coming together removing is possible. It have worked in, we have seen it in Liberia, but it's going to take time, and it's going to take up to the end of up to Sona and everything. And we don't want it being like that. Lawmakers are advised to boycott. Senate, some members of the House of Senate will not go sit on it. And I don't want to believe that the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia will go and sit on a speaker with all those information and all of those different things surrounding him about his integrity. So that's why I wanted to say, Sis Vicky. So I think we
Yeah.
can just give your live comment on it, then we can go to the audio recording from the chat room of the
Yeah.
House of Representatives.
Thank you. Like I said earlier, it's not going to hurt if the president try or address it and ask him to recuse himself. My only thing here is I am not sure if it's the work of the president to do that when the House is right there and they are the one that actually put this man into office. Like we said earlier, talk bring talk. I think I kind of follow the lady again in one of her interview. She were trying to say something like, "Are you guys actually watching?" I think she addressed something about the forum. He said the forum at Richard Kuhn that actually made Richard Kuhn a speaker. Did you see the actual number with your eyes? Did you watch that? She was saying something like that. So this lady,
And she spoke about a quorum.
yeah, she said the quorum that you guys talking about. Did you guys actually see the actual number? Did you see it with your eye? You saw the amount of people. Did you see it, or it just something that they said and you guys just went and believe it? Did you actually see the photos? You saw the people and the identity. Did you actually see that? That's lot to the story. That's what I think that the host has a responsibility now. Is the host problem. It's also the president's problem. The president can just try and speak, say he had influence, this one big influence over the speaker, or he's a big supporter and whatever the executive. Yes, I think the president should address it, but I think the main work here is the house. The House is the one that actually have work to do right now, to ask the colleagues to step aside, or to ask him or to remove him, to start the process. I think the House can do that, and they are privileged to do that because they put him there. They can be the same people to remove him. I'm not saying it's not the president's responsibility. I'm not saying the president should back it. No, the president has to act too as well. He has to address the situation. He has to make it that people and know whether this is something that is okay for the nation, or it's not okay for the nation. He needs to address it, but the host have more obligation here. That's what I will close. I'm not disputing that the president should not address it, but I'm saying that the main person, or the main focus should be the House to actually take it of this business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sis Vicky. And I would have loved for us to play the audio, the leak audio recording from the House of Representatives chat room. I'm trying to connect studio to see if they are there, so we can have this on. But unfortunately, I'm not getting anyone, and I hope if Dad is also listening, she could help out with that, and so we can have our one or two on it, on the aspect of different lawmakers calling on the speaker to recruit himself. But I think we also addressed that in our comments earlier on. But yeah, we have already get over that, and we expected that Mr. Tovik, who have been here, to also give a little insight about the CMC news and everything. But I would just love for us to go a little bit on the new appointments. You follow CMC today. We have new appointments. Every day there are big name, big appointments in the CMC, and every day you have new people appointed. So today, yesterday, in fact, from my end, yesterday there were three appointments being made. We have Mr. Collins, Torment Collins, who was appointed as the Vice Chair for Political Affairs, and we have Lasana A.M. Kruman, who was appointed as member for Continental Executive Committee, and we also have uh, Petit Cook, was appointed as the Continental Committee, a member of the Continental Committee as well. So let's talk about, every day there are big names, big appointment in the CMC. And yeah, let's talk to the Liberian people what, those big appointments for. Every time we have big appointments and the different engagement in the diaspora for the CMC. Let's talk about it shortly while we expect that to, or the studio to take control and play the audio recording.
Yeah, and just before we talk about it, there was one more today, and that person, it was a USA and Canada appointment. Randolph Glee. Randolph was appointed as the recruitment and mobilization chairperson for USA and Canada. So this
Okay.
is a man that is ready to work, move everywhere in the US and Canada, and bring people on board. 2026 is going to be a very great year. So we want to say congratulations to Randolph.
Yeah, that's. But
So
what I want to speak to. Yeah. So let me just restrict the question. People,
mhm.
when people always see that CNC is making more appointment in the diaspora, they always think that why CNC is always making appointment in the USA, because this is not a regular something else. It's not a culture for our democracy system like where people will be appointed out all of the time. We believe that appointments should just be made in Liberia, and parties should just be built in Liberia solely. We should not focus on the diaspora community. We should not include all the Liberians into our governance system or our democratic process. So let's talk about what say you to somebody who raising this kind of concern that CMC is focused on appointment in the diaspora.
Well, I don't know why it should be a concern, or I don't know why should it hurt to actually appoint people in the diaspora to work, when actually the number one support for any political party is within the diaspora. And once the diaspora is well established, and then people are working, and then everything will just be fine in line with that of the national, or the one the continental. So I just want to say that it's very important, because when you appoint people, you put them in charge, and it's also it also bring about accountability. when you appoint somebody, telling them, oh, this is your responsibility. This is you are in charge to do this. And once you tell somebody they're in charge, I mean, they act upon it right away. The enthusiasm, gets just going, and then they start working. So we cannot just sit there, and then it has to do with a better structure too, because we cannot just all gather like you and I right here now and say, oh, two all coming on the show, or the both of us going to on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today, who's leading? You are the one moderator, right? So if you we don't have a moderator today, you and I just come right here. We'll just be looking at each other. You the one been raising the question. That's what moderation do. You raise the question, you bring the concern, we talk about it. You give your viewpoint, I give mine. So if that's been structure. That's the structure of the show. One person moderate. Even if we're 5 or 7 here right now, you are the moderator, right? So you leading us for
Mm.
today. So appointing people is just working, with structure. It's just showing that we are organized. So we need everybody to be in the various places. We need everyone to be in the various committees or various position, so that we can work, so we can carry the work on. So appointment is not a bad thing. So if we just sit there and people don't know, I don't know what my responsibility is, the other person don't know what a responsibility is, we can just be there CMC, CMC, CMC. But we have to know how we're bringing it all together. Who is doing what? Who is doing this? So that's the purpose of the appointment. And I think that's pretty organized. And for us to do that, it's just working with structure and just show that we are rational people, that we work differently, and then we bring them all together and to make the movement effective. That's what I would say.
Yes, that's true. You just talk about the structure. It show how organized we are. And I believe one thing I believe that should be done is that in order for us to have a good governance, or in order for us to have a governing process that allows all Liberians, regardless of your location, people in the diaspora, people everywhere, to come together for national development. It requires, making everyone present count within
Hmm.
every governance system.
Hmm.
This is what other countries do. They don't just carry on governance. They don't just do governance as a closed something, or they don't just blanket it. They try to make it open, and make it more, inclusive enough that all of the citizens, or all of the nationals from that country, can be able to, be involved. So I think this is what we are introducing. There are a lot of things that CNC have done differently. The first thing we introduced differently, we brought about the decadal system within the political system, you know, political landscape in Liberia. We brought about the online registration process, where regardless of your location, you have to stay in America, you stay in Europe, you stay in Africa, you stay in Asia, you register and be a member of the CMC, and you'll be recognized through your registration in a database system. And I think the effort to bring everyone together and to have structure established within the diaspora, it helps to bring about, you know, everyone getting involved into national development. Because we have people out of Liberia.
Hmm.
We have Liberians out of Liberia who have the mind, some of them have the expertise, some of them can contribute to the growth of the country, but they want to be called on board. They want to be brought on the table. Nobody wants to be left out, you know, not being cared for, and then they just try to find out that kind of attention by themselves. So this is what CMC is doing. We're trying to bring everybody on the table and say, look, regardless of your location, it is incumbent upon all of us to work together to be able to move our country forward.
Hmm.
This is what
Hmm.
we're doing. This is why when you check in the diaspora, you get to see that CMC that was just established less than a year ago, we have gained political dominance in the diaspora as well. Everywhere you go, you hear about CMC. We are also grassrooted, but not just grassrooted, but we also extend and we work globally with everyone. So sometimes you hear people asking, why CMC is always doing appointment in the diaspora. They don't focus most on Liberia. There are a lot of things we're doing like a lot of appointment going like a lot of party structure within Liberia, but the CMC does not only base in Liberia, it based everywhere. You come to East Africa, you see CMC, you go everywhere. And by the way, the political the political affair officer of Honorable Musa Hassan Bedete, when he came to Rwanda, so I didn't know he came on Hoover operation. I'm sorry that I'm saying it on the show. He came on his covert operation, and when he came to Rwanda, he tried to ask someone in the next city, somewhere something like a 2 to 3 hours drive from the main city that I stay. And he asked the person, I'm here, but I want to meet with. Do we have anybody here who is affiliating with CMC? And the person said, oh yeah, CMC is the as a matter of fact, is the organizing the bigger political party here. So he was able to get a quick route and quick access to meet with the CMC East Africa chapter. So this is what the CMC is doing with expanding in Liberia. We're not just expanding Liberia alone, but we're also going across the continent in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, and America. Everywhere you go, you'll find a CMC there, and they are working effectively. We are working effectively in the diaspora to make sure that everybody can be involved with national development, and everybody can be included in the agenda to move Liberia forward under the CMC. This is why we are telling you, let us come 2029. Let us not vote based on promises. 2029 votes should be based on, it should be result oriented. It should be based on what we have seen and what we have taught. Let us not be carried away by fake promises. CMC is engaged with national development in Liberia. Everywhere you go, that you see the hammer of the CMC. Everywhere you go, you see that CMC have touched lives. CMC have changed the condition of people. Bridges have been built across country. You see that major development have been done. There have been groundbreaking from schools around countries, and a lot of things going on this through the CMC. So this is why this is a clear example that collaborations, including everybody into government or national development. This is why it brings to you, because at the end of the day, people in the diaspora, we are out there. We see a lot of good things that go in the country, that go in other countries that we are currently in, and we see how things supposed to be. So when we have these kind of different ideas, when we go for executive meeting, we recommend these things to political leader. We recommend these things to the executive member and say, look, this is what we need to do. These are things we are seeing in other countries, and this is what we need to do to move our country forward. This is why it's so important to have political party structure within the diaspora, because what we all going to be included within national development. We're going to be, our president going to be felt. We're going to have our say in the governance system, and yeah, everybody going to contribute to it. Since Vicky, I don't know if you are there, but so this is just what I wanted to say on people who are raising concern about CMC, getting appointments in the diaspora, getting structure in the diaspora. I think is a good thing for us, because it helps to bring about more development, something that we believe that can change the living condition of our people, because we are seeing a lot going on out here, and we believe that these things can happen back home, and now people going to benefit from it. So wheresoever you're watching from, I want to say, yeah, just keep watching with us. It's good to have you here. We're just going in the comment section to read some of the comments that are in the comment section already. We're going to read some of the comments, comments within the comment section, and let's see. Yeah, we have few other comments in the comment section. We have Bayena Shopping, who said Arizona, USA. I think he's watching from Arizona, USA. We have Benda Bereti. She said, I'm following. We have Fatumata. Fatumata said, nice show, brother. And we have Musa. Musa said, hello, everyone. We have Hajiman. Hajiman said, hi, family. I'm religiously following from somewhere around nation's capital, Monrovia, Liberia. As nation capital, Monrovia, Liberia. We as follower of this unique platform, still waiting for our season. We need some help, please, my great people. Where is that Richardson? Yeah, then this is why we say the condition in Liberia need to be changed, because we need to have society that will allow people to be independent. When people independent, you have independent opinion, you have independent thoughts, you do things independently, But we understand why it is true that we still await the government to provide an avenue to create an environment or make people independent. Yeah, we CMC is still there reaching out to people. And the other person say, Hajim may also say, hope that Richardson will appear on the show. The regime speaker has become a complete embarrassment. Yeah. And he also came down and said, hi, Dad. Hope to see you on the show. I'm religiously following from the nation's capital, Monrovia, Liberia. So now this thing is resonating. People understanding now that this regime speaker, the whole thing about regime speaker is becoming embarrassment for the people of Liberia. Yeah, but since Vicky, we have 15 more minutes to go from where that's it. I think so. We will be ending by 3 o'clock. The fact that we are two here and the weekend have started already, so we not have to keep the show going that long. So let's just in generality, let's talk about you know we've been following few other things happening in Liberia. You know, we have talked about the CMC already, and we have talked about the
Did we talk about the leak? I'm sorry that I went off because my MacBook is connected with my phone and then call was coming, so it kind of just. I'm sorry about that. Did we have chance to talk about that, or did you play anything on it?
Yeah, we could have talked about it, but I'm trying to reach the main studio to
Oh
gather
yeah,
the audio.
yeah, yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
trying to reach the studio to gather the audio. But if you don't mind, we could talk about it a little bit. Just throw light on it. Maybe,
you.
yeah,
For
just like
me,
that.
I didn't follow that, to be quite honestly. So that's why I wanted to listen to the audio to see how how can I contribute to that. I
Yeah.
didn't.
So
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 if you
let me
don't
let
want,
me just
if you want us to talk about it another time, that's fine. But I thought we could.
no, let me just provide a little information about it. I follow a bit, and the leak audio. There were a lot of confrontation between lawmakers. They were discussing, you know, the speaker to recruit himself in the host chat room, and they were having conversation around it. And on Marvin Cole
Hmm.
officially, sent an audio in the chat room,
Hmm.
and he was asking that the speaker needs to recruit himself. This is not about politics. It's not about black. It's not about Fonatikufa black. It's not about Richard Kun black. It's about the sanity of the house. It's about, you know, giving you a due process to make sure that he can be able to, he can be able to address the challenges and the kind of information people providing around him. So this is what he said, and he also went on by saying that if he remains dead, uh, there will be no section, because they are not going to sit on him. And but as a matter of fact, if you have 20 lawmakers, or you have 22 or 23 lawmakers working out a session, and you don't have all of the 73 lawmakers going to session every day.
Hmm.
It's always in the case that you have few lawmakers being absent. So if you have 20 or 23 lawmakers working at a session who don't want to sit on your gavel, who don't want to listen to you, you're not going to have the quorum. So they are saying that we need to make sure that this speaker can recuse himself. Let the Liberian people job go on. We are not saying he should be removed. We are asking that he should recuse himself until the due process is done. After all, yeah, he can take a seat. This is why Honorable Marvin Cole said in the audio, and a lot of people confronted him saying, "Oh, you are so angry because you come from and all of that." And that was just what was in the audio. But I thought that I just think that we talked about it later on. Earlier on today, we talked about it. We provided our analysis. We were asking him to recruit himself,
Oh yeah.
so it was just all around the audio and all of that. So I was asked to move a little bit
Hmm.
to yeah to the issue of the Capitol building, the absent case of the Capitol building, where we've been having this whole case being dragged into court and all of that. There have been delay in the process. We understand that court process require time, but all of the time, the Liberian people listening, the Liberian people want to know what really happened to this case. At a certain point in time, we saw the prosecutor, dropping some of their evidences, asking for more time, prosecutor been asking court for more time and all of that. And you have people who are still in custody, people in jail. They are still in jail, and some of them, their conditions changing every day. At a certain point, at a certain point, a checkup shows that some of them, they were mistreated. Some of them, they were sodomized and all of that. But here we are. Every day we have the case being extended, being extended, being extended. The last issue we had is that there were jury temper. Somebody tempered with the jury, so they needed to remove those jurors who were tempered with and all of that. So today, officially, we saw that all the jury, the members of the jury who supposed to sit on the bench, who were selected to sit on the bench, they drop all of them. That means they have to go to new jury selection to start the process all over. So what's your thoughts on this whole capital building issue that been taking a long time, like when people been waiting for it till the whole momentum is dying now?
And if I can recall, hasn't it been a year now?
No, not a year.
Really?
I don't think it's not a year now. No,
I
it's
think
not a
it
year.
has been a year. You know what I said that? The well, the actual happening or occurrence where the Capitol building was burning, it was in December. It was in December. It was in December of the year of 2024, because we had just gotten there. From there, December 5th, I came back to the US, and then I had my one of my senior men went there. He was there. This is how I remember. He was there in, I think, in December, December or January, when yeah, I think it's been a year. If that, I may not be recording, because how I remember was he went to see one of our lawmaker, and then the lawmaker said he was busy because there was in it was the same time there was fire in a place there, and then they couldn't even meet again. So I really think that it has been a year or very close to a year. So like you said, I just want to say that yes, it's been a very long time. It been a while since it happened. So I don't know. I would look it up to be very precise, but I think it's close to going to a year, and which makes sense. So I don't know, Liberia. I don't know why should this, if you can actually get a suspect and they are in jail, the other supporting proof, you should also have it. We don't have a forensic system in Liberia to say, we would take things to carry to the lab and do fingerprint or do this or do that. All of these things, I would say sometimes it can be a process. But you know how our suspicion based, what it based on. Oh, you one of those that did this tight, that will carry you to jail. Tell me how it happened. Tell me what you know about it. For it to be prolonging this for this time, I feel that there's a foul play. I feel that there's something going on, something uncovered, or there's something hidden, or they're trying to hide, because it shouldn't take this long. Liberia was more like that. So how long it will really take you to actually come up with findings to as to who started the whole thing, or how it happened. So that again, I may not know, not have a lot of knowledge on that, but I remember it's going to close a year now. Maybe the people were arrested sometime not too long ago, but the real occurrence happened sometimes 2024, the end of 2024. That's what I remember that, or early January, or early 2025. That's what I remember. So there should be nothing actually, because, and then again, if you're prolonging, if something as it is taking long, the Liberian people has the right to know how far is the case. Like even, yeah, I know we can compare the scene system, but that should always be where we at, how close we are to verdict, how the investigation going, how that sometimes when you see a new findings, or you see a new proof or something linking to what may have contributed to that, it's also supposed to be on news, so that Liberian people will know that, oh, the case is from this to that. But when Liberian police say they're holding something and say go come back, you just there in suspense. So I mean, I don't know. They should do that better because we need to be in the know what is going on instead of just be dragging, talking about oh they found out that something was about to happen. Somebody tried to hide something, and then all of that is just way too much for that little Liberia. I mean, it can just take Liberia 1 week to know what the actual story is. But they prolonging, when you see them prolonging it, that pushing it from here, this end, from here and there, you already know they're up to something. And I really think that they're up to something. It's not that hard, or it shouldn't be that hard. So, and I pray that they keep the Liberian people in the know so we know how far is that case because it's a major case. It's very big. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sis Vicky. And the most interesting thing about it is that these keys have taken too long. And if I think if the prosecution or the prosecutor if they have more evidence, this case can be put on trial. We don't need to delay this thing all through, you know, the court resources or judicial resources is being used all of the time. And the most besides, we need to know who's responsible for this thing. You know, we need to
Mhm.
know who's responsible. And it's just keep growing. At a certain point, because you got two types of evidences. You got the direct evidence, the circumstantial evidence. Sometimes they will say, okay, we only have circumstantial evidence, we don't have direct evidence. And sometimes they will say, the jury tempo, we got to change juror, we need time, prosecution need time, we got to change evidence, the geospatial evidence they brought about the different location of the parties involved at the time of the burning of the Capitol building, and all of these things. It's taking long. All these things contributing to people not confiding in the judiciary system of our country, because you cannot have this kind of high-profile case. You can't have this kind of high-profile case, and the government or the judiciary system cannot speed up with these things to make sure that Liberian people can get to the bottom of this thing, because you have over $1 million that was allocated for the renovation of that building that got on fire because of people personal desire or because of whatever case that went on. But some of the questions people have been asking, they brought forensic team, they brought experts into the country to establish what really happened. So people have been asking, what are the results? What are the funding of the forensic team that came in the country?
Hmm.
What are the results of that
Mm.
funding? If you bring an expert to have the expert opinion on something or to do better funding about things, at least their results, the expert results, let's say the expert opinion of their funding should be in the public. It shouldn't be something that is confidential, that is being kept. People don't know about it. People have been asking all of the questions. Where is the forensic, the report and all of that? I think the government should be able to provide a report to the Liberian people, that the Liberian people see it, or the prosecution should be able to provide this kind of evidence. But I think some of the concern people have been raising on this, and I would just love for us to close up on that. From there, then we'll give our parting comments. Some of the different statements people have been providing on this, that because when the Capitol building was on fire, government officials went there. When the president went, the president admitted that the act of the act was an act of hooliganism. Yeah, it was an act of hooligans. So people who did that, they should be brought to justice, so we can make sure that justice prevail. So you know, the president already presumed that people got involved with this. So at the end of the day, the police needed to do whatever it takes to make sure that people can be accounted for this. So the president's statement cannot just be something fiasco, because he said it was an act of hooligans. So people who did this should be brought to justice. So I think people have been giving these different analysis. The reason why the prosecution, people have been saying that the prosecution do not have any major evidence to prosecute the case, but they're only holding on to this case because they don't want the statement that the president made. It should just go like that. At the end of the day, Liberian people will hold them by that. So why say you on the statement made by the president when he was invited on the scene, and you just decided the case that yes, it was people who burned down the building?
So again, if I may ask, based on what the people that were arrested,
Based on what?
hmm based on what
They were
evidence?
arrested. They were arrested as suspect. They said they were suspect. They were
So
suspect, and some of
based
them,
on what? Yeah.
yeah, they said they were suspect. Fonatikova was a suspect. The rest of the other people represented, I think Sibo, he was a suspect as well. All those people who got arrested, they said they were suspect in the burning of the building. So at the end of the day, and all of those who are in jail right now, they were connected with them. They said there were all evidence of conversation between the people who are in jail right now and that of Fonati Kofa and the rest of the other thing about the burning of the building, all these things around it.
Hmm. So that was the suspicion. The suspicion. I mean,
That was it.
well, the whatsoever it is, we pray that they actually wrap it up because it's been a while now. We cannot accuse people and they're in jail. And I don't know if Liberia have a system where when somebody is being accused, falsely, I don't know if there's any benefit or benevolence for the person after the investigation and it's not actually the person. So I hope they have something that are in place. I'm not saying they didn't do it, but I'm just saying now that they've already taken this case long, if they have something that are in place, that another big settlement for those people, and that money coming from taxpayer money. Even the people that they're getting from here to go, not from here, but the expert they are getting, the forensic expert they are getting to go over there. I feel that it's waste of money. And guess what? How they ordering them? That bring put money again, because I don't know one based on what that bureau. I don't know some of the evidence if it's something that has to do with of the evidence that you just listed. This thing happened long time ago. People cell phone signal was not captured, text messages or news star or whatever. I don't know if they incorporated anything where people will go and see conversation between the suspect, people that claim to be suspect. As times go by, all the evidence, if there's evidence, if actually people did it and there's evidence, where will you find this evidence as times go by? You will find anything like that. So I feel like they're just making it because, like you said, the president came out and said somebody did it, so they're trying to actually link it to a person to do it, but they're wasting the Liberian resource and the time. That's what I would say. That's my closing. Then they should wrap it up. Whatsoever it is, come with your findings,
Yeah,
wrap it up. We need to know.
yeah. Thank you for closing up on that topic. So yeah, basically we will soon be going, but we need to have our parting comments, and our parting comment will include those things we talk about. And we really would have loved to play the audio recording from Honor Marvin Cole, and we would have loved also to talk about latest happening of the CMC in Liberia, but we were not able to have Mr. Tobe with us as well. So yeah, and follow, want to say thanks for following, thanks for all being there, wherever you are following us from, whether you are in Radio Land, we want to say thanks for being there. This is the CMC News. We are on the Political Laws on Facebook. We are on Inside Liberia on Facebook. We're also on Political Laws on YouTube. So you can find us on any of those areas, and also all of the community radio stations that are relaying us. We also have 2FM taking across the country. But since Vicky, let's get your parting comment now, and your parting comment could include, the Richard Kun case we talk about. It could also include the CMC, everything we have talked about. Let's just hear your parting comment on those things.
I will first start with something that I actually forgot from the beginning of this show, because it may have been because I came on and you were already on, so I didn't want to put you way back. I want to take this time to actually commend you and tell you thank you so much and congratulate you for the events that you carry on in your area with the CMC East Africa. The town hall meeting that you had, we saw that it was on the social media, and that again just showed that CMC is everywhere. Everybody should be engaged and we are inclusive. So everybody means something. Everybody's voice needs to be heard. And yeah, so I want to say thank you so much for that event. I saw people came, it was nice. Just the beginning of it, it was looking really organized, and like people ready to discuss, issue of importance, concerning the country. I want to commend you for that. Thank you so much. That's a big CMC news. I sorry that we didn't talk about it from the beginning. I want to say thank you. So and the way you work over there, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, for putting CMC all over the place in East Africa. And hey, happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you guys. Oh,
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for coming there.
for me for that. So, Honorable Mafi Cole, I want to say you already know who this man is. We're talking about they had supporting documentation or documents or evidence concerning Mr. Kuhn getting married legally in the U.S. that have been provided, and this man is coming to say they asked our colleagues to recuse himself, and then I'm hearing other lawmakers were saying, "Oh, you're not doing this because it's retaliation." So what about the papers? What about the documents that actually saying this thing happened? What about it being just ridiculous in the face of of term in command or in Liberia as a whole? What about it? What about the everything that is going on, the dirty man that is going on? Why people don't see that? So the only thing they're saying is this man trying to retaliate when is actual. There's actual evidence and everything there. And I would say, and Honorable Cole, that keep being who you are. The thing about you that I like, is that, or any other CMC member is, we just because they're not listening, it doesn't mean we shouldn't speak. You was doing the right thing, go for the right thing, always speak up. Speak it out. Please don't stop. Speak it out. Keep speaking out. You're doing the right thing. That's how it should be. Not because you have three people to say, oh no, you're doing this. No, don't follow the judgment. Do what you're doing. Once you know it's the right thing to do, keep firing me back. And I like how you fire. So I just want to commend you for raising that again. I know if it was our PE, they were going to say the same thing. And I know you're not alone, Honorable Cole. You are not alone. There's more of you. And you guys go together, speak out, let something be done. No matter what critic or what they want to say, just keep doing what you're doing. I think he did the right thing. I think all lawmakers should do exactly what he initiated. It doesn't take everybody to start something. It takes one person to initiate it, and then other people can follow. And I want to tell him, to encourage him, that he's not alone. The whole of Liberia is with him. The whole entire Liberia is with him. So that's what I wanted to say on that. And all other issues we've been discussing, I want to say it was a good discussion. Thank you so much. And that the poor been calling for you, and it's supposed to get a new year.
I know, right? I
Yeah,
know.
thank you, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, thank you, Sis Vicky, and let's welcome Dr. Richardson. I think she was on Spoon of Rich. Yeah, she was on Spoon not too long, and leaving again to join us. The fight is not easy. It's all about Liberia. This is why people keep calling her Iron Lady, the brain behind the diaspora. So it's good to have you here, Dad. But we have discussed a couple of things about the CMC. We talk about the CMC news. We would have loved to have Mr. Toby here with us to give us some later updates, but we just brushed over the CMC news about the commitment of the CMC to the Liberian people, and we answered some of the questions and the concern people have been raising about CMC always making an appointment in the diaspora, and we made them to understand that it's important to do some of these things because it helps to bring about collaborations in national development, because we have all the Liberians who are in the diaspora, that some of them hold expertise to country development and how we all can contribute to make the nation great. So by including them and bringing them to governance process, it makes it very easy for them to bring their expertise on board. So this is what CMC is doing. We're working across. We have a continental, continental engagement to make sure that everybody from different continents can come together to move our country forward through its CMC. And we also had conversation about this whole issue around the speaker, getting married to more than one wife, and making sure that the statement himself been providing, especially calling somebody that he got married to legally his sister, something that violated rule 42.1 of the House of Legislature that talk about every member should at any place keep the prestige and the dignity of the house. And something that we think, based on those grounds, he should be able to recruit himself to make sure that due process is done. Let justice be served to all men. This is what we want the Liberian people to do. So there are a few other issues that we'll talk about, but we just want to have you, if you get anything to say on that, let's hear you. We're going an hour 40 minutes now, so let's just hear you, and then from there I can do my closing up.
Yes. I just want to wholeheartedly thank you and Vicky tonight for holding the floor down. I called you, I called Vicky, and both of you, are committed. This is what who we are as CNCmers. We are here to support and speak for the voiceless who are Liberians. So I want to thank you guys so much. And I'm hearing that the topic that you just share and Vicky share, um, just great, wonderful. They were training issues. They are what we usually do. So, I'm happy. Thank you guys for, keeping Liberians aware. Um, yes, I want to echo what both of you said. When it comes to Honorable Marvin Cole, he was unspoon. That's why I was there to be an arm of support to him. Um, and he spoke, he just typical of what we expect CNCmers to do, typical of our alignment for the Liberian people. This is not about someone's personal life. We don't care about that. Rightfully, like you said, we care about the violation that happened. We care about the violation of the house rule that says that you should behave in a way that uphold the prestige and dignity of the house. That's what we care about. Okay. And that's what Honorable Cohn is not doing right now. But I'm not surprised in a way. The only thing I want to add, and I'll shut up. I'm not surprised. It has to do with women's issue. I'm sorry, I will have to add this there, okay? We always like to undermine, belittle, demean when it comes to women's issue. So people are saying, oh, let a man be there, So what if issue relating to domestic violence come on the floor? What if issue relating to marital laws come on the floor? What is issue relating to property rights come on the floor? How is he going to decide on this issue if he does not recuse himself from the matter until he's investigated? And that's what Honorable Mariko is asking for. All right. Liberia, the court system is already corrupt. Okay. In terms, especially as it relates to how women are discriminated when it comes to implementing the laws against the cases. And that's what we're talking here. So he said that he's going to follow through. He's going to first, they have to write a letter. And from the letter, they have to take it up with the House leadership. And of course, there's some, there was a text that was read on Spoon that said there are civil organizations in the country that are taking this to court. They're concerned, so they are taking it to court. So do we want a speaker who is bothered by the legal issues that he can't focus on what's his job and stuff like that? And somebody brought up the analogy, with Fonati Kofa and also Speaker Kuhn. And they were saying that why was Honorable Marvin Cole supporting Marvin Cole, and he corrected it. He said, I wasn't supporting, why was he putting Fanati Kofa? He said, I wasn't supporting Fanati Kofa. I was supporting the rule of law. Like I'm supporting the rule of law here. That's the common denominator. It's about the rule of law. You can't just remove a sitting speaker, without having the numbers. And so you guys had your allegations that were not taken to court, if there were all allegations, you had all these ethical complaints that you listed. You didn't take this man to court, and when he was taken to court, he served his time in the United States, and the United States released him and sent him, and he went back to Liberia. So the difference between the two situations is Speaker Kuhn is admitting to either the woman in question being his sister, that he married his own sister. He's admitting to that. He said that there has been said publicly. Kofa never admitted to the allegations that they had about him saying he was double dating, blah, blah, blah. They were all allegations, and that is the difference. Okay. And so Honorable Mariko made it very, very clear. So I just wanted to share that. I want to thank you guys for holding the flow. I know Winston is very late where you are. I can see it in your face. But again, when CMC calls, Winston comes. So thank you so much, Winston, for all that you do. We're a little bit short-handed because I heard from Mr. Nama, he said that he forgot his computer somewhere or whatever, but he's working on it. I think Fofana is running late. And my own said, Mr. Toby, they still enjoying the New Year's in Liberia, but we'll be back again on Monday, my good people. So please join us. Small, we're getting there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad. So I just want to close up by firstly, thanking everybody who took their time to follow us. Always, they are always here on the political laws on the inside Liberia, on CMC Diaspora USA, also on the political laws on YouTube as well, and those who are also in Radio Land and those radio stations, those community radio stations that are relaying our activities across the country. It's about time that we all work together to redeem our people or to redeem our country. But this is what I want to end up on. We've been hearing most of the lawmakers who are calling for Nanti Kova to recruit, not for Nanti Kova, but Speaker Reggie Kun to recruit himself. They've been asking also the executive to be involved. I think the reason why they keep asking the executive to be involved with this is because he's a handpicked speaker by the executive. The executive, they may have said it that I'm a regime speaker. So the fact that the person who controls the regime can call him and say, you know what, my man, this thing is bad. We need you to step down. Let's have the process going on. It's going to be fine. Like I said to you, sis Vicky, Liberia is expecting the State of Nation address very soon. The SONA is going to take place very soon. And during the SONA, the both houses come together, and the presiding officer is the speaker. So I want to believe there are all of veteran senators within the House of Senate who would not even want to sit under the senator. And there are a few other lawmakers who are also threatening that they're going to boycott the SONA. And this is not a good sign for us. And we don't also want to have a SONA like what we have observed in previous year, where the Chief Justice, the seat of the Chief Justice will be empty, and the president will just have to address, his SONA by all means. But this time around is going to be so embarrassing. If this issue cannot be resolved, there will be chaos taking place on the day of the SONA. Lawmakers will go there with the intention that they will not want to allow the speaker to preside. So the issue about removing speaker, it requires due process. It's going to take time. And it's going to take up to the SONA. So the executive can be involved and ask this man to recuse and say, let the deputy take over until after the SONA. All those different things will be done and all of that. We want to have a SONA where the Liberian people will sit in peace and listen to the president, let the government tell us what they have done in the past years and what hope they are bringing to the Liberian people in 2026. This is what we want to hear. So as responsible opposition community, we are asking that this should be done because the Liberian people deserve to listen to SONA that will be testing, something that the government will give Liberian people the hope to inspire and rejuvenate their future. So we need a speaker to recruit himself. We believe that the presence of the speaker on the SONA to preside over the both houses is going to bring chaos at the day of the SONA. So we don't want this thing to happen. And we support all the lawmakers who are calling a recusal because this is about the dignity of our country. Liberia flag was just planted, toward the United Nations. The non-permanent seat, we voted. We asked to be voted for. We got a vote, and our flag was planted. And we cannot have the third man in command. The third man in command in our country, who's supposed to go out there to represent our country, having all of those issues around him. We believe that our country needs to be represented by people who have lived their life with no tainted character. We need people who will go out there and represent us, and you have international representatives on the day of the SONA. I don't want to believe that those people, those international representatives, and this case is touching is catching the eyes of people. You will not want to have international communities who will want to come there and sit on the kind of speaker. So this is really going to be bad for our country, and we just want things to be done rightly, we believe that it requires the effort of every one of us to move our country forward. We don't want this government failing. CMC, but we don't want this government to fail. Why is it true that we want to unseat this government, but we don't want this government to fail? Because we believe that if this government fail, the Liberian people will suffer. We want this government to succeed so the Liberian people issues can be resolved. We believe that we can do more than what this government is doing, but in this regime, we don't want them to fail because we believe that the Liberian people deserve better. And again, I just want to end up by saying, CNC every day we're doing big appointments, we're doing big engagement in the diaspora, both Liberia and in the diaspora. This is something that we believe can help to move our nation forward. In order for our nation to move forward, we need everybody to come on board. Let everybody work together. They like what the CMC is doing now. They need Victoria, since Victoria is becoming a household name, and we believe with all of our expertise coming to bringing our expertise together, we can move our country forward. So it has been a good time here at Dr. Richardson and Sis Vicky. I know it was not easy when I started the show because I went 20 minutes alone. It was not easy, but it was good that all of us later on came here to show together. So again, we want to say, I'm going to call it a night from my end, Dr. Richardson.
Yes.
So I will leave.
Thank you.
That with you, and it was a very good show tonight. We look forward again to being back on Monday.
Thank you so much, Winston. I just want to remind all of you that are watching us and all of you that are supporting CMC's vision. Vicky has hoodies and sweatshirts that are available, so you can order. They have the different states on them. They have global cheer, or they have
let me bring it quick.
Yes, that's good. I was hoping that you're going to say that. So please make sure that you order that. And I'm also urging all of you that are listening to please do payment has started. If you can't, just go ahead and you'll be getting information from the financial person to Vicky's here. Vicky put it up. Yeah. So you have those sweatshirts and hoodie. She almost caused an interesting dialogue in my home. CMC, because my husband likes Barrow, and Barrow that I read people. And I'm an IE woman. I like yellow. And so he said, Vicky must have mail anything yellow, yeah. So Vicky had to mail a decision now to mail whatever she had to mail to us. Yeah. So she has all of those. You saw them. If you put it up again, sorry, Mama, please show them as talking differently while you're talking here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, you see, that's the red hoodie. That is the one I'll be getting. It says CMC USA Canada. So you are. That's a good one. It's up to me. I would like to have others, and this one says CMC Global on it. So if you're a CMC Global person, you can get that. Or you can get this is another one. CMC. If you're in CMC Southeast United States, you can also get that. And no matter where you are, if you just like the color, you just want one, you can have one. You don't even have to be a CMC. Just say I want to support CMC. I have some friends who are supporting CMC that will be ordering from Vicky. And some of them, if you're an American person listening to us, or a Liberian person, or from Africa or another part of Africa, please be our guests and help support our fundraising effort. So yes, and then like I said, we already started. The due payment already took effect. You'll be hearing from Ansu Colette over the weekend on Monday. We'll be putting in some information. I want to just tell everyone thank you. I'm going to tell the communications team thank you for your pointers that you gave us. So we appreciate that. And Vicky, you have anything to say before we end the show?
I just want to say, lastly, I know I've already closed, but a big congratulations to all of our newly appointees. I don't mind what the people are saying. We are organized. That just shows that we are organized and we are structured. All right. So your appointment, take it. Let's run with it. Let us work. This is 2026. You all know what we're supposed to do for 2026. And at the very beginning of 2026, you are getting your appointment. That just shows that what you're supposed to be doing, what you're responsible for, what are your expertise. let us bring it all together. All right. So congratulations. Congratulations. Sorry. The next time we come here, we're going to call your name, each one of your names with your position and tell you a congrats. Sorry that the show is closing right now.
That's
Thank you for watching and thank you and happy new year again. All
yes.
week.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Let me try to be auto. Auto.
Oh, yeah, you got it right. Good.
Auto.
CMC for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity. CMC core values. CMC Global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's all together. Let's all together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the land of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity.